Hey guys, welcome back to the Route 281 podcast, your weekly look into the lives of the people that make Somerset County special. Today's guest is an entrepreneur. He's owned his own painting business since 2011. He is passionate about his health and his family, and he's a world champion Spartan obstacle course racer. His team, Little Giants, were featured on the NBC primetime show Spartan Ultimate Team Challenge. He has competed in hundreds of races across the U.S. Mr. Dustin Livengood. You know, one thing I've learned as a contractor is that I'm only as good as the materials I use or the people I work with. That's why I go to SDC Building Center in Somerset. They've got everything I need for my jobs, from framing lumber, trim, drywall, insulation, siding. No matter what I'm doing, they've got it. And if I've got a problem, they'll always help me find the best solution and track down the answers I'm looking for. So whether you're a contractor like me or a do-it-yourselfer, stop in and see the experts at SDC Building Center today.
Guess that means go.
Yeah. Now we're going.
Okay.
A couple audio checks and we're good to go.
All right.
All right.
Let's move this a little closer. All right.
Yeah, this is, like I said, and I'd probably say this at the beginning of most episodes, but the technology thing has been a huge learning curve for me.
It is for all of us. We're old.
Yeah.
We didn't grow up with this stuff.
I know, and I'm hoping that my kids will grow up and learn some of this and start helping me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I asked one of my daughters the other day, how do I make a short? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's like, oh, you got to make a short. You know, I'm like, I don't know how to make a short. I did a reel the other day on Facebook of me doing my hand-scraped hardwood.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know I was doing a reel. I just posted a video of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, you made a reel. I'm like, oh, congratulations.
Good for me.
To me. Yeah, right. There are people who are wizards at this stuff.
My daughter.
Oh, really?
Oh, my goodness. She's,
Somebody told me you need to get an intern to do this podcast. And I'm thinking, that's a good idea. I hope that they realize it's an unpaid internship.
Yeah, that's where the kids come in.
That's right. Yeah, I'm hoping my kids will...
you pay them with food and shelter.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they earn it for the most part.
Yeah.
Today's episode is sponsored in part by SECHLER Insurance Group LLC, your independent local insurance agency, proudly serving Somerset County and the surrounding area since 1931. With offices located in Rockwood and Somerset, SECHLER Insurance Group specializes in home, auto, commercial, farm, life, and financial services. So stop by and see Scott and Jason for a personalized review of your insurance today. Yeah, they're a lot of fun. How many kids do you have?
I have two.
Two kids.
Yep. I have an engine and a caboose. So I got my boy. He's 21, going to be 22 here in about a month or so. And my daughter is 19. Yeah. So I'm on the later phase.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm kind of in the thick of it, I guess.
Yours pretty young yet?
They are 14, 12, and 10, soon to be 15, 13. 11.
Enjoy every minute. It goes so fast.
Yeah, it does. And we really try to. We pretty much do everything together.
Mm-hmm.
We love to travel together. We've great kids who are, they focus on school and they work hard and they bring home good grades. They take after their mother.
Yeah, that's what I say with mine. Definitely.
They definitely picked up her qualities there for sure. But no, I got no complaints. They're sound kids, and they have a good head on their shoulders. So we genuinely enjoy like being together as a family.
Yes, well, you enjoy your family.
Yeah,
there's some parents that you can tell that they're stressed and
it's not like the priority.
No, I've never really had that with ours.
Yeah.
We really enjoy it, and that's why I say and enjoy it, because now that my kids are older, I miss it. And I mean, no rush. I mean, sort of rush, but make the right choices. I can't wait to have grandkids. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
To have little ones again around. And
I'll get baby fever around a little baby.
Yeah.
I just like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, nah,
Well, for me,
past
it's
that stage.
I had to miss so much in the beginning because of work and business. You have to provide and everything else, and that's a sacrifice that we have to make willingly. You can't complain about it.
Right.
But grandkids, I have a little more leniency, a little more freedom, and I am gonna soak up and enjoy every ounce of it.
Yeah, right. Well, I hope that we both get to experience that.
Yes.
I'm in no hurry for that.
Well, you got a little ways yet.
Yeah. But okay, today's episode is with Dustin Livengood, and you know what? When I started doing this podcast, I realized that there's so many people doing different things in our immediate area, and this was to be a locally focused podcast where we just kind of get to know our friends and neighbors and honor God doing it. And I've known Dustin. He's done some. We're both in contracting, and you do painting side of things, and I do some construction side of things, and he's done some work for me. And by the way, he does amazing work. So if you're looking for a painter, and it is
appreciate it. Livengood Painting.
Livengood Painting, here in Somerset.
Yeah. Also sell paint. Yeah, I'm a actual Pittsburgh paint dealer.
Oh, nice. Okay. And so I see him around at the SDC Building Center.
Another great company.
But I did not know Dustin was a Spartan racer.
Yes.
So so we're going to get to know a little bit about Dustin and kind of what he's accomplished and the story that he has as kind of a life-changing story for you in a way.
Yes, very much so.
And I think it's pretty cool. I was not aware of it, and I think that's one of the reasons I like to talk to different people, because I may be aware of something, but maybe if you're listening to this podcast, you're not. But this is new to me, so if it's new to you, enjoy this. But it should be a good conversation, and I'm excited to learn about it. I was excited to see that there are 3 milers.
Yes,
because
you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, and I've always been interested in okay, what's basic training like and stuff like that. And I was close twice to I won't go down that rabbit hole because I've done it before.
Yeah.
But when I saw that there was a 3-mile race and all the obstacles that are included in that, it's not your regular 5K race. So what is Spartan racing and OCR, which is obstacle course racing, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Well, first off, thank you very much for having me on. Yeah, I appreciate it.
I'm just grateful that you took the time to do it, because I know how busy you are.
Yeah, well, anytime. I mean, I can always carve time out to sit and talk Spartan or health or just oddball stuff. The more this podcast goes on, you're going to find out I'm very odd in places. I've gone down different ways to see different things.
That's what this is for.
But yeah, OCR is obstacle course racing, which is you take your regular 5K, 10K, half marathon, and then you run as hard as you can, and you do feats of strength, feats of skill, and feats of balance, those types of things throughout the race. Yeah. So our smaller races have roughly 20 obstacles or so, and then the longer you go on the races, the harder they're supposed to get, and the more are supposed to be during the race. So yeah, and each race company, there's a lot of different race companies out there. Spartan's by far the biggest. It's a global race company, but there's a bunch of different companies that do different types of races, because there's some that are more speed, where the obstacles are easier, and then there's some that are more of a grind, to where it really tests you to see who has the most mettle and who can suffer, which you're going to hear me say some things that might be a little odd or turn you off a little bit, but the more you learn about this, the more you learn about me, you'll see why I say these things. But yeah, we sometimes look for more suffering to see what we're capable of.
Yeah, push the boundaries a little bit.
Yes, and that's, and depending on how you take racing, I kind of took it to the 10th degree. Yeah. But I have an addictive personality, and which almost got me in a lot of trouble as a young man and as a 20-something. So, and if you can learn to focus your addiction properly, it's amazing what you can do.
Yeah, so for sure. So these races, so So you said Spartan is a company that puts on this challenge or these races throughout the country,
throughout the world.
Yes. So in order to enter one, what's required to enter a race?
About $120. $120. I mean, you can actually get some specials on it and get in cheaper. But yeah, you just got to go to Spartan.com, sign up. I mean, and you say about training and stuff. And what I try to tell everybody, if you've never done one and you think that you're going to be able to train to be ready for it, you'll never be ready. Yeah. You won't, because you do not know what to expect, and you'll never be able to train as hard as what the race is going to be. Yeah. It's just one of those things that, depending on how you take it, now you can make it as easy as you like. I mean, you can walk through most of the things. If you can't do a lot of the things, generally our penalty is 30 burpees, is what it used to be. So I think you're still in the open heats. If you can't do something, you're supposed to do 30 burpees and then move on to the next task.
So even if, that's like, okay, just say you couldn't do that, or you're like, I'm done. You're disqualified.
You can quit, but you can always walk.
Right. Okay, but you can continue to race if you can't compete. If you can't complete an obstacle, and we'll get into obstacles and stuff. But if you can't complete something, there's like a penalty, and you can keep going.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're there's no way I'm, doing that 15 pull-ups. I'll do 30 burpees and keep going, or whatever.
Yeah, you can do 30 burpees. You can opt for the penalty and keep moving. Yeah. Some obstacles are mandatory. Like some things like the bucket carry and sandbag and stuff, you can't really opt out of that. Yeah. Now, this is on the competitive side, which is the age group heats and the pro heats. Now, the open heats, there's no rules. It's one of those things you can go out. If you want to do the burpees, you see a lot of people electing to do them if they can't do something. And some people just walk past because they're just out there trying to make a change.
What's one that most people opt out of?
A lot of people can't do monkey bars. It's amazing how many people can't physically hold their weight and hang, let alone try to move from bar to bar. And some of our bars they're level, and then they'll go up or they'll go down or they'll get bigger gaps. So you need to learn body awareness as you move through space, how to anchor yourself, and those type of things.
It sounds so much fun.
It is. That's what I've tried to tell people. Now, I'm a Gen Xer. I grew up as the latchkey kid. Yeah. I mean, parents pretty much hands off. We ran wild. We were out in the woods every weekend, playing up at Stepping Stones, up at the creek, up at the B&O Dam, all these places. I am going to be 48 years old, and I still get to go out and play with my friends in the mud on the weekends. Yeah. I mean, how can you ask for anything else?
Yeah, right.
It's so much fun.
Yeah. And that's, you own your own small business, and that can be really time consuming.
Yes, very much so.
And, but you've family is also time consuming. And
very important.
There's constant balance of priorities and time, because, that's the one thing that we don't know how much we have of.
Yes.
So I think it was cool, and you can talk a little bit about this, like how you came to, how you got into this. You can talk a little bit about that, and then how you've prioritized the families involved in this too.
Yes.
And so you've kind of made family a priority, while also, taking this thing where I know you love your business, and I do too, but it's important to have something else that drives you.
Yes.
And because that kind of keeps you sharp and focused, even in your day-to-day business, because that can be
very daunting,
challenging. Yeah.
Yes.
It's a risk reward type of thing, and I love doing it, and I'm sure you do too.
Yeah. Especially over time.
It is something that it's fun for me to have a new challenge.
Yes.
This podcast has been a new challenge for me, and I'm enjoying doing it. But yeah, I'd like you to tell us a little bit about how you got into it, how your family's involved, and kind of the story, because it's a good story.
Yeah. Well, it'll be a little bit of a longish story. I'll try to make it short. Back as a teenager, like I said, I was a Gen X kid. Parents, they were typical Gen X parents. They had their life. They worked to put food on the table, house over our head, and they retire. It was like a typical family. Like most people growing up around our age.
I grew up in a dairy farm. It was like, you find You're going camping? Okay, great.
Yeah. And you got your chores. You got to do your stuff. I mean, everything. You just do whatever you need to do. Well, as a young man, with my dad being so busy, my mom, same thing and everything, I had an older brother. He's between 3 and 4 years older, depending on time of year. So when you have a role model that you don't have anybody to look up to, except my brother was who I did, he wasn't going down a great path.
Yeah.
And I kind of tagged along with him. Mm-hmm. So I developed a lot of bad habits as a young man. Thank goodness it was short, a few years. Because I had my first cigarette at like 12. I was a full smoker by 14. I was a pack-a-day smoker.
Wow.
Then started to dabble in drinking at like 15 and was really heavy by 17. Still smoking and just not, I mean, I wasn't an awful or bad kid. I was ornery, and just kind of was falling down the wrong path. And thank goodness I met my wife.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine, him and I, prom night, it was our sophomore junior year prom night. We got busted, him and I, because we never even went to prom. We just went out and drank.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say these stories, 'cause I don't want kids to think this is how it is.
To learn from our experience. You know?
The reason I do say it is because I realize how fortunate I am that I made it out.
Yeah.
Because if I wouldn't have met my wife, I don't know where I'd be.
Oh yeah.
So
always.
Yeah, it's amazing how they can correct the ship.
I was kind of the same way. Very similar childhood. Grew up, and got into things that I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Went down a few of those roads, if not more.
Mm-hmm.
And met my wife in high school, and we, it's like she, led me to the Lord, and
she's your compass.
Yeah, she is, and she's like, she is my compass. And any direction we go, we look at it together now, and
Mm-hmm.
she's my saving grace too. So shout out to the good women out there.
That's right.
Behind every good man is a good woman.
Yes, because it takes a lot to keep some of us straight.
Yeah,
and so I met her right after the night that I got busted. Which, I mean, we knew each other for years. We were in the same homeroom. Yeah, all the grade school and stuff, and then we started dating our junior year.
Yeah,
so we've been together since then. But she helped because she wasn't in the same loop crowd of friends that I was. She didn't have any. She was't a partier.
It's like I'm looking in a mirror, dude, because you're saying the exact same story. It's funny.
Well, and sometimes it is good. Thank goodness. Yeah. I mean, thank goodness she found me when I was that age. Yeah, because at the rate I was going, I mean, definitely glad I didn't go to college, because college would have killed me. I would have got there, and that would have been a playground. Yeah. And that would have been such a bad mix. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, she got me pulled away, and I just started to go down a different path, just try to figure out how to be my own man, take care of her, because as soon as we got out of high school, we moved out. And then we got married by, I think I was 21, she was 20 whenever we got married. And then I bought my business at 23. So I started working for Ed Witt Painting back in the day. I've been painting since I was 14, which that didn't help the booze habit and the cigarette habit either, because I was like 14 years old during the summers making like $250 cash every week, because I was a hard worker. Yeah. But I played hard too. Yeah, right. And my goodness, we could afford some good beer then. And that's a bad thing. But I was broke. I got paid on a Friday and was broke by Tuesday. Yeah. And pretty much all my money went to booze and sheets for hot dogs and stuff. So then I got out of school, got on with Ed, worked for him for 5 years until he offered for me to buy the business. Oh, nice. So yeah, as a young man, and I don't come from a prominent family. We don't have anything. And it was one of those things that I remember sitting on the back porch, contemplating what to do. My wife and I, we rented a place, and I didn't have anything to my name. I mean, we were out on our own at 18, so we struggled from the start, paying bills and stuff, but we did it on our terms. It was us. We never took any money from anybody except the bank. Mm-hmm. But I was sitting there and I'm like waffling back and forth about this, and finally it hit me. It's like, I have nothing to lose. I mean, the only thing I have to lose is my wife, my dog, and a car that I don't even have paid for.
Yeah.
I still owe a loan on. So what am I waffling over? If I'm have the chance to do this, I mean, people like me don't get that.
Yeah.
So I was like,
so this was an established business.
yes, actually, Ed Witt Painting was started back in like 1946. Ed's dad started it when he got back from World War II.
Oh, wow.
So he died early though. And then Ed bought it from his mom in the 60s, early 60s. And then he ran it up until 2001 when I purchased it off of him.
Cool.
So, and no family, nothing else. I was just a kid off the street that, back in those days, it was really hard to get a job. There wasn't much work out there. And I got out of high school, and I remember it was like 2 weeks straight. I went to like 13 different places a day trying to get hired. And down at Ed had a paint store too. And I remember going into the paint store. It took me 3 tries, 3 different days, because his wife always cut me off going in, because I guess people would always go in. And the third day, I was getting smart, and I dodged her on one of the rows, and thank goodness Ed had just fired 2 guys that morning, and he hired me right on the spot.
Nice.
So then I purchased that in 2001, like I said, as a 23-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Pretty much no business experience at all. High school, I didn't go after my grades or anything, so I was there to have a good time.
Yeah.
And so learning business is tough.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So
nothing ventured, nothing gained, which is,
yes,
that's kind of the way I looked at it.
Yeah.
I was not happy with what I was doing, so I'm like, what have I got to lose? I can always go back.
Yeah. Yep. And that's what I kind of figured. I mean, but I'm one that, like I said, anything I latch onto, that addictive personality will kick in. I just have that. Yes. Yeah. So in business, I went all in and like really focused on business. So
did you find out you liked it?
Yeah. Did
you think that you were going to like running your own company?
Yeah. I mean, I know the business side, like the bills and the billing, the bids and stuff. Yeah. That's not that much fun.
Yeah.
I love dealing with customers.
Yeah.
And I love doing my craft.
Yeah.
So I'm still a working boss. I still do all my own shop work and all that stuff because I can't get away from it. I mean, that's...
You enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I found out that I actually really enjoy, and I didn't know, but I do enjoy the administrative side. Almost as much as anything else.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'd rather take a beating than sit in that office.
Yeah, because it was so foreign to me.
Yeah.
I think, like, because I just made every dollar I've ever made was by, like, the sweat of my brow.
Yeah.
And with my hands and work with my hands. And I'm like, okay, so once I really like that side of owning my own business. Like, having somebody that I didn't know say, yeah, I would like to hire you. I want your product or I want your service. You know? And to me, that was a success. And like somebody that, and that was like, so then those things can become daunting, like writing estimates and doing things like that. I get that. But I do actually enjoy that time, like sitting down, figuring it out and coming home at the end and doing my little project report, stuff like that. Because it was so foreign to me. Because I've only ever just worked with my hands, but, so it can be a lot at times.
Yes,
I just have to make time for it. It can be like, oh, where do I fit this in? You actually have to make time to fit that part of the business in.
Yeah, well, business is 24 hours a day.
Yeah,
that's the one thing about owning a business is when you go home, you don't go home. Yeah, you're always working. Yeah, there's always
at least if it's just in your head, you're always working.
Yes, yeah, you are because you're always worrying about something. You're always doing this or that or the next project or do I have enough work for the next month and a half? What happens at the end of that? I mean, there's always those things.
Right.
And when you're new in business, it can be overwhelming if you don't know how to deal with it or if you can't deal with it properly.
And
I mean,
people who just don't want to deal with that side of it.
Yes.
And it isn't for everybody.
No.
And thank goodness for that because otherwise we'd have no help.
Well, that's one thing my old boss said. He goes, everybody should own their own business at least once in their life. It would breed better workers. Yeah. Because then they would see what actually goes into it. So then they would realize that, I can do minimal on my end to really make this man's life so much easier.
Yeah.
And still I can go as a worker. I can go home, and I can really go home and then come back to work the next day. I work 5 days a week. I mean, to where you don't have to go through the stuff, because you have to have a passion for it to be able to do it long term.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
So
I agree with that.
But I know for me in my 20s, I was so focused on not failing. My very first job when I bought the business was the trust department up for Somerset Trust. It was a restoration job. Yeah. And when Ed owned the business, we did the exterior of it. And then I bought the business, and then I finished the inside of it. And at 23, I don't know if you've ever been in that building, the one across from the post office.
Yeah, I know which one you mean.
On the second floor, the decorative fancy ceiling and everything.
I've never been in that building, I don't think.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful building.
Yeah.
I mean, we restored it back to turn of the century, whenever it was originally built.
So my mom worked at PNC.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think I was allowed in that building.
Yeah, that's probably a competing thing.
Yeah, right. No, but I know it's gorgeous on the outside. You know, and
Yeah.
I know it's an old thing, and they got it's kind of the original vault and everything like that.
Yeah, that vault, I hand pinstriped that thing, gold leafed it.
Yeah.
Put an auto clear on it. I mean, I did that entire job. That was my first job, and
cool.
I knew at that age that job was going to make me or break me.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a lot of pressure, and that's a lot of pressure for your very first job. Just getting into business too. And like I said, I can't say thanks enough to Somerset Trust for even giving me the chance to buy the business, to give me the money to purchase the business.
Good families, good people. There.
Yes, let alone give me the chance to do that job, because I mean that's a big risk. I mean, shout out to Andy Cook. Yeah, I mean he's a great guy.
Yeah. Him and my dad were good paddling buddies.
Were they? Yeah. He's a big kayaker and everything. And
they did you talk about like challenges, you know. Mm-hmm. They at the Yacht they would do a right below the falls. Like they have the day where they run the falls, and then below the falls they set up an obstacle course.
Oh yeah.
For the they did a tandem canoe challenge. I can still remember this.
Yeah.
I was pretty young when they did it, but you had to like ferry across the river, go through this gate. They set up gates.
Oh, really?
They hung them across with poles that hung down. Yeah. And so you have to go through that gate. You have to go through this gate backwards. You have to ferry across. It was pretty neat.
Kind of like what you see on the Olympic kayaking, right?
Yeah, similar. Yeah, very similar. Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew he was an outdoors guy.
Yeah. Camped with him, you know, on a couple occasions. But yeah, him and my dad were good buddies.
Yeah, Andy's a really good guy. So that was my first job. Wife and I had a hard time having kids because of that job, the stress. Yeah. We finally got to the point that we were having we had to have testing done down in Pittsburgh, which is like, oh my God, this is.
And that just adds more stress.
Yes. Well, this is supposed to be the most basic, easy thing in the world. Yeah, I mean, we were taught back in school, you got to be careful. If you brush up against a girl, you're going to get her pregnant, man. You got to. Yeah. And here I am, can't do the most basic thing that nature was meant to.
Well, you're doing it, but it ain't working.
Meant to do. It's like, I'm not doing something right. So, we had testing scheduled. Yeah. And a week after I finished that job, she was pregnant. So I was like, stress. And I remember going to Andy and I said, you realize the stress of your job? I couldn't have kids. He's like, nah. I said, yeah. So, but we ended up.
You were that dedicated.
Well, it was one of those things I knew that if I failed there, I would have failed in general. That was one of those things that
was not an option for you.
Yes. Yeah. And like I said before.
Well, that's the thing. Like, there's no problems, only solutions type of thing. Like, you know, you encounter that all the time. Like, it's like every time I start a new job, it's like I'm going to encounter something. There will be some challenge that is unforeseen.
Yes.
There will be something that I didn't plan for. Mm-hmm. There will be something, you know, an issue that, and you just have to be okay with knowing that something's going to come up and I'm going to have to work through it.
Yeah.
Didn't plan for that, and but whatever it is.
Of all people, Mike Tyson. Everybody has a plan until they get hit in the face for the first time, and then everything changes. Yeah. Same thing. I mean,
usually with me, it's like a half-inch water line.
Well, it depends on
you know?
Yeah, but So So early 20s and stuff, run the business as a young man. And just me. I didn't really have a safety net anywhere or anything. Like I said, folks like me don't get opportunities like what I had a chance to do. So I wanted to make sure I didn't screw it up.
Yeah.
So I put a lot of pressure on myself, too, throughout those years. And to make sure that I kept the business running. Mm-hmm. That was my biggest issue. I realized later was I concentrated too much on business and totally forgot about everything else around me, thinking that I was doing the right thing because I'm providing, but I'm only providing material things, not the things that truly count.
Right.
So my 30th birthday, I don't know if you got to that thing.
Yeah.
Is where...
Yeah, actually, I saved that and screenshotted it.
Yeah, that was
I read it. Yeah.
That was a thing, going into my 30th birthday. Now, through my 20s, too, I kind of lost myself, too. I always struggled with weight, even as a young man. But in my 20s, I really put on a lot of weight, just from business and stuff, and not being as physical as what I used to be in that. And, oh, my goodness, it was Christmas, right before I turned 30, because my birthday's in January. And I remember sitting there, and the kids are opening presents. And as a builder, as a house painter, winters are tough, especially in our small area. We're not, especially a new business growing, trying to stay busy year round. It's kind of tough because you're building a client base and all that. And winters are always tough, and money would get scarce, and you're always worrying because you always want to make sure your guys are paid and your bills are paid. Right. You sacrifice yourself and at the same time.
And that's completely noble,
Well, that's what we're supposed to do. Right. That's how it's supposed to be.
One thing I've learned as a contractor is that I'm only as good as the materials I use or the people I work with. That's why I go to SDC Building Center in Somerset. They've got everything I need for my jobs, from framing lumber, trim, drywall, insulation, siding. No matter what I'm doing, they've got it. And if I've got a problem, they'll always help me find the best solution and track down the answers I'm looking for. So whether you're a contractor like me or a do-it-yourselfer, stop in and see the experts at SDC Building Center today.
And I remember sitting there at Christmas, and I was like 1,000 miles away in my head worrying about the work coming up. Am I going to have enough? Can I keep my guys paid? And all this stuff. And we were halfway through the kids opening presents, and I snapped back, and I'm like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
It's like, my God, what? As a young man, I always wanted to have kids, have a family. That was my goal.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, you have everything you ever wanted.
Yeah.
And you're not even here.
Yeah.
Yes, you're providing, and that's back in our era. That was what the dads and stuff always I put food on the table, goes your back, be happy, and all that. And at first, that's what I thought. That was what I was supposed to do. But then I realized how miserable my wife was and my kids were and stuff because I wasn't there. Mm-hmm. They had to experience and do things without me all the time because I was always working. So, and also I was just fed up with myself. I was one of those people that had two sets of clothes. I had my fat set and my less fat set.
That you hope to get into one day.
No, it would cycle through the year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because generally I would always diet every January. How everybody gets on on the bandwagon.
Same thing. I've got that shirt in the closet. Like, I can't wait till that fits. I'm not throwing it away. I'm gonna wait. It'll fit.
Yeah. And I did that for years. Years through my 20s. Tried everything. Pills. Every diet you can think of. All of this stuff. And always back and forth. But when I was 30, I was at my heaviest, and I was 192 pounds, and I'm a little guy. Yeah. That's a lot of weight on a small frame.
I'm trying to get to 192.
Yeah, and I'm like I said, I'm very small. Yeah. So it was a lot of weight, and my kids were 2 and 4, I think, when I was 30, roughly 2 and 4, somewhere right in there. And it's like, I need to make a change. Yeah. And after sitting down, I'm one of these people that once I focus on like the addictive personality, I focus on something, I will just dissect it and just keep trying to figure out that problem. I do it through business all the time. and all that. And I'm sitting there, and I finally came down to it that, you know, how can I be the best father that I can be, a good husband, a good businessman, if I can't stand myself? You can't be there for them if you just are miserable.
Yeah.
So that's why I started getting into fitness. I'm like, I got to get myself squared up before I can be what they need me to be.
Right.
So in the beginning, it's tough because with a wife and stuff, they think, oh, what are you getting? What are you trying to wait for? All this. And in the beginning, it was hard for her to understand. Once I got further through the process, I think then it clicked. It's like, oh yeah, he's really broke. Just, he needs to square himself up before he can be who we need him to be.
Yeah. I get that. I totally understand that. It is. There's a period in there where it's like, I almost feel selfish a little bit for wanting to try to do, do something to change myself. And then, and like, I don't want to be selfish about it, but I know that I need this and they need, I'll be better for them because of it. I can see where you're going.
Yes, because that is, you feel so selfish because everything as a father, you're supposed to give everything. You're supposed to sacrifice and give everything to make sure they are good. Well, family needs a lot more than just material things.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to figure that out. And like I said, I just, in my heart, I knew if I could get myself straight, it would be so much better.
Yeah.
So that's when the dieting started. I mean, real dieting. And then started working out, which I never did before. I still didn't run. I mean, I was never a runner. I actually got into benching. I did bench meets and stuff. My best friend growing up, he was big into benching. I'm like, well, I'll go and do that with you. So I get into that, and I'm built for benching. I mean, I'm this short, compact barrel that has little short arms, so I don't have too far to push. But I found out pretty quick that you can't be heavy and be good or be able to place because these boys are strong. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what it is about our local area. We breed strong people when it comes to benching and stuff. So I had to keep sucking weight. I was down in like the 170-something class. I'm like, there's no way. So I had to suck some more weight down to like the 165 class. And then there was a local monster there that was a national bencher. I'm like, well, that ain't going to work. Yeah. So I had to keep sucking down. I had to suck down to the
one. You got totally into this benching.
Yes. From the ages of 30 up until 34, 35 till I found Spartan. Yeah. That's what I did. I mean, I was just focused on benching. Yeah. And I got pretty good at it for my size. I was down in the 148 class. And I usually walked around about 144, 146, somewhere in there. But to do that, especially the push the weight that you need to push and stuff, it hurts. I mean, when you're coming into a bench meet, you got to ramp up so much. And you just, I mean, I remember there was a week before the last meet that I did, I ended up pulling one of my ribs out whenever I was benching. I had to have the doctor like push it back in because it popped out because the pec muscle was pulling that much. Wow. And you always walk around with your shoulders. You see somebody walking around and they don't mean to, it's just they're so tight. Yeah. And it's just miserable. Yeah. So that's when I got into like P90X and stuff. I thought, I got to do something else. I can't do this. And I'm not going to run. My wife started running. She started trying to run. Yeah. And I'm like, you go do your thing. I'm not. Yeah. That's not my thing. Because I was a soccer player in school. And it's like, running is punishment. Yeah. So started doing that kind of stuff and was just kind of spinning my wheels. Because if you don't have something to train for, like truly something to train for, you can't really... Or at least for me. Yeah. I have to have purpose. Mm-hmm. I can't just do things for fun. Right. I mean, I'm a purpose-driven type of person.
For me, it was always like, I always said, okay, I just set like maybe a weight goal or something. And that was my purpose when I started running but I actually enjoyed it. Yeah. I didn't think I would have. I never thought I would enjoy running.
I know. Same here.
And I went to St. Croix to visit a cousin of mine who lives there, him and his wife. And they run all the time and long distances. They do tractor miles, for the year, and this and that. So I went there, and I was like just going through one of those periods where like I was just out of shape and needed to be healthier. And that was inspiring for me to see them doing that, and they are very healthy. And I just came home and I'm like, heck with it. So I just went for a 3-mile run, and then did it like every day this is running like 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And kept that up for a year, and would do just push-ups, slow push-ups in between. Come home, do push-ups, sit-ups, do like a ab workout, chest workout, whatever.
Calisthenics.
Yeah. And then I got Morton's neuroma in my foot.
Oh.
It's like a nerve. It's almost like...
kind of like plantar fasciitis?
Yeah,
kinda like that?
It feels like you're walking on a pebble.
Okay.
When I first started, I felt this in my shoe. I'm like, there's nothing in my shoe.
Yeah.
But it felt like I was running on a rock.
Yep.
And so I just kind of ignored it. To one day, like, I almost had to have my wife come pick me up.
Really?
I couldn't put any weight on it.
Yeah.
And I did the dumb thing, which was just run through it. Kept doing it. And finally, I think I just... I couldn't feel it anymore.
Yeah.
And then I would wake up and on any flat surface, like especially without shoes on, it would just show. This pain would just radiate out of my foot, and so I had to quit for a little bit. And it's completely gone now.
That's good.
No pain at all.
Yeah.
But I haven't been running. I'm kind of like, if I get back in, so what? But that's okay. Yeah. But yeah, no, I was surprised I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed doing it in the cold.
Yeah.
I would go out in the nastier the better, because it was like a little bit different challenge.
Yeah.
If it was windy and snowing and it was ugly out, I would go and like, this is great.
Well, that's a challenge you have to come with sometime over to Kimberly Run.
Oh,
I don't know if you ever ran there.
I've been through those trails, but never ran in there.
So the outer loop is like 2 miles if you do the outer loop.
Yeah.
And there's a creek that runs right through the middle. So Thanksgiving and then Christmas, we would go out and do loops. Every loop, you sit in a creek for 30 seconds or more, and then get up and then run another loop. So
a little cold plunge.
That was our cold water training.
Video of that or something?
Yeah.
If sitting in a creek, I didn't know where it was.
Yeah, that's where it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and it just trains your body. You start learning to, you learn how to get warm, because movement's life, especially when it comes to cold races.
Yeah.
So you learn how to deal with that, and you get stupid whenever you get cold if you're not used to it.
Yeah.
You can't think clearly. So if you ever do that, make sure you have somebody with you.
Yeah.
Because you can get to the point where you just start walking because that's all you know to do. You get literally like dumb.
Yeah.
And you will get in trouble if you.
Yeah.
So it was more of a higher end training for us to.
And how many people will go and do that?
Well, back then we had it was me, my son, one of his buddies, and then Shockey.
Yeah.
So it was like 4 or 5 of us that would go out and do it, and. Just test yourself to see what you can do. I remember Shockey's first time. Yeah. We got the second or third loop, and I'm running. I'm trying to talk to him, keep his head in it and stuff, and I'm running. All of a sudden, I look back, and he's just back there walking. Has his hands crossed. I'm like, dude, let's go. Huh? What? Huh? I'm like, come on. He started to get that point where he was going dumb. Yeah. And I'm like, no. You got to. It's like, I didn't realize how dangerous it could be. Yeah. If somebody's alone. Thank goodness my son and his buddy were teamed up so that they could keep each other.
It's just a cold? Like
yes.
Almost like a hypothermic?
If you go hypo, you're the blood, apparently the blood starts moving away from, furthest away from the brain. Yeah. So it'll just keep pushing towards the brain. Yeah. Your body's sole goal in life is to keep the brain alive.
Yeah.
So the colder it gets, blood goes into the core. If it keeps getting even colder, then the blood just pushes up to the brain, and it just tries to keep it in like stasis. So we have some racers. We have one that he was doing an ultra up at Killington, and on the second loop, they just happened to come down the one mountain, and he's off the side of the trail sleeping. He's just sound asleep, and they're like, it was freezing, and our races were in and out of water the whole time and stuff. He was hypo, and he just made a bad choice, and he was just tired. So he's like, well, I need to take a nap. And he just laid off the side of the trail and started taking a nap. Wow. And they had to get the medics over to get him up and get him moving and get him going again. So
are there cold weather Spartan races?
Yes.
Like snow involved in any of the challenges or anything?
There used to be.
Yeah.
We used to have a race up in, where was it? It was up in New York. Not Wintergreen. Now the name's escaping me. There was a winter race that was usually every February, and you go up and it was snow.
Yeah, nice.
And yeah, now they didn't put us in water, but it was cold.
Yeah,
it was still cold,
yeah.
and yeah, we'd have to run down like the tubing section and stuff, and a lot of people just try to slide and all that kind of stuff. But
nice.
Yeah.
So, walk us through a Spartan race. I mean, or you can go back to like how you got into that first race, because I think that's pretty cool. How you kind of like.
Well, I was just doing the P90X stuff, and then, like I said, just by happen chance, my son's friend was over, and his dad came to get him. And I went out to meet his dad, the first time that I met him. And he was in running shorts and stuff, and we were just chit-chatting. He was saying he was training for Mud on the Mountain, and I asked him what it was and stuff, and he told me, and I said, well, next time you do one, let me know. I'll come and do it with you. And next time, he said, this is the next one. And that gave me something to train for. Mm-hmm. So I started running and stuff, and that was when I was like 34, 35.
Mud on the Mountain was at Seven Springs.
Seven Springs.
Yeah.
Do
they still do it?
No.
Okay.
The last one, I think it was 2021 or 2022, somewhere in there. Ever since they sold, nothing was starting to let it kind of fade away. And then when Vail took over, they just kind of stopped. So, but yeah, I mean, it's crazy how just by chance, shout out to Josh, meeting one person can actually change the course of a family's whole life.
Yeah.
So
that's whenever you started with Mud on the Mountain.
Yeah.
Actually went to Spartan.
Yep. Went up, raced that. We were at the after party, and we're sitting there. I mean, 7 miles up on that mountain. It was rough. It was cold. It was in March, so it was freezing. You feel like you really did something.
Yeah, right.
We get back to the after party, and this guy's behind us talking. I hear him saying, this is kids play. You ought to do a Spartan. I'm like, what? I pull my phone out.
I'm about dead over here.
I look it up. I'm like, wow, what's that? So I signed up for a race, which was Palmerton the next year. It was 2014. So we took the family, and we went, and I raced that race. It was only 3 miles. Yeah. Middle of July. I don't know if you've ever been out like north of Harrisburg, is where the race was. Oh my God, I think I got heat stroke. I mean, it was like 90 some degrees out, and I remember we were running, or I wasn't running then, but I was like power walking up the mountain trying to do this race. Went into the woods where it was shaded, and I got goosebumps. It's like 95 degrees out. Yeah. I was like, oh, this isn't good. Yeah. And it took me forever to finish the race. First one, I remember crossing the finish line, went straight to my wife. I'm like, this isn't for me. Yeah. Let's go. So we left. We were staying, because we always tried to, as we did these, if I was going to uproot the family to have them come with me, we try to do something as a family over that time that we were going. So we went to Hershey Park after the race the next day. And the whole time I was at Hershey Park, I couldn't quit thinking about it. It was just like, it made me mad because something hurt me that bad. And I was like, 3 days later, I signed up for 2 more races. And then it's...
I think to even try something like that, people think, I'm going to fail.
Yeah.
And they're afraid of failing.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't, it is a... even to diet, or why am I going to even start because I'm going to fail?
Yeah.
Or whatever. But why would I try to run 3 miles? I'm not going to make it.
Yeah.
But
yeah. And when it comes to these races, the only way you fail is if you walk off the course. If you quit.
Yeah.
There is no reason to quit.
But how much satisfaction do you get by crossing the finish line? I mean, like where you set out to do something that you didn't think you'd be able to do, and you actually did. Like we were talking earlier, that little bit of overcoming adversity and building a bit of mental fortitude is, like, I would really like to see that in my kids.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, because we have it so good. We have it so easy. Like, you know what I mean? In
so
general.
Easy.
So, like, you guys have something to give you that slap in the face.
You need something to make you appreciate and want.
Yeah.
There's a different... Actually, I shouldn't put it that. There's 2 different things. There's wants and there's needs.
Yeah.
When you want something, you just want it. Yeah. But when do you truly need something? Yeah. In some of these races, you get in the middle of it, you need food and you need shelter. You need heat. Yeah. Just to keep going. I mean, it pushes you to that point. I mean, the newer races, the modern Spartan's a little different than what original Spartan was back in the day. They really pushed us back in the teens. The races and stuff, we did some crazy. How they got away with it, some of the stuff is just mind blowing. Yeah. That they didn't have more lawsuits and stuff.
Yeah,
but
I mean, some of it looks like Navy SEAL training.
Yes, it is. It's like little minis. It would never be. It's never really as hard as what those folks truly go through. Yeah. But it's like little mini boot camps. Yeah. Because the race breaks you down and then rebuilds you by the end. Yeah. And that's the purpose of it. It's purpose to show you that, because you go in there with a attitude. Like my first race, I'm like, I just did mud in the mountain. I'll be able to knock this thing out. Yeah. I was humbled very fast. Yeah. I mean, the bucket carry at the very end, I still remember it. It was so bad because these buckets, we used to have to fill them on our own. Yeah. They would drill holes around the top of the bucket, and there was a pile of shale. You'd have to run up, grab a bucket, fill the bucket up above the holes, and front carry this bucket. And they always put the bucket carry on a hill somewhere, so you have to carry it up the hill, down the hill. I remember carrying this bucket, and I'm setting it down, trying to hold it. The guy beside me set his down, it fell and spilled. And I was like, oh, God. I grabbed my bucket, just started waddling away. I'm like, I don't want nothing to do with that, because he had to sit and fill it back up. Because if you got to the finish, and there was always a ref there, if he could see daylight through those holes, you had to fill it up and do it again. Yeah. There was no 30 burpee out. Yeah. I mean, it was, you fill it up, and you got to go through that misery all over again. So it was crazy back in the day. But yeah, I mean, it would break you down to the point that, I said, people see these races and stuff, and they say, oh, those guys aren't really moving that fast. Go out and do one, and you'll see.
Well, everything's in a hurry. Like, 'cause you,
yes.
For instance, trying to fill that bucket, you're...
Yes.
You maybe stop filling up a bucket, but guess what? You got to pick that thing up and go again.
Yeah. And like I said, I brought one here for you to pick up.
Oh, I carried it in here. And I'll show the audience. Yeah. But so what do you do with this bucket?
So originally, you would have to front carry it.
And that's full of shale.
That's full of shale. So you would have to front carry it. That weighs about 75 pounds. Yeah. 60, 65, 75.
Is there a right way to carry it?
Well, originally you had the front carry just like that. Yeah. And that's the only way that you were allowed to carry it, because there was no lid. You couldn't spill it. So imagine that weight pulling on you all the time while you're trying to walk across mud, up mountains, over wet rocks and all that stuff. Well, now they've changed it. They've put lids on the buckets, and they allow us to put them on our shoulders. Yeah. So you just pick it up, throw it on your shoulder, and you start running. Yeah. So now we can actually run with the bucket, to where before we just had to waddle like really fast. Because when you have to carry it in the front, it not only taxes your lower back, but your grip, because you got to try to hang on to this thing. Now, you've just been through the mud. You're just muddy and a mess and wet. Yeah. Try to hang on to that plastic bucket, and your hands just keep slipping. Yeah. And it takes so much strength out of your arms and your hands just to carry it and to hang on to it.
You're using muscles you didn't know you had, trying to grip things. Yep.
And the trick is, don't put it down, because you got to pick the damn thing back up again. Yeah. And it's heavy, and it takes a lot of energy to get it back off the ground. So there's little tricks that we like bend down, set it on your knee, and then get back up and go and stuff. But now it's real easy. I mean, throw it on your shoulder and just take off running.
Oh, real easy. Just throw it on.
Well, a lot easier than what it used to be. Right, yeah, a lot easier. So yeah. But you'd finish something like that, and you'd be like, I mean, so broken. But then after it sinks in a little bit, it's like, man, I really did something. Yeah. I mean, I really
accomplished.
Yes.
Yeah. So how you eventually, so this is your first one. You signed up for a couple more. You get into it, and then you at some point, well, I think it was like 2018. You arrived to the Spartan Challenge team. Tell us about like that and how you got there and what that process was like.
I think that was 2017 was the Spartan Ultimate Team Challenge. Okay. So back in the old days, there was only two things in Spartan. There was the pro division and there was the open division. So we all ran pro, because if you want to truly compete, that's what you run with. And I remember I used to finish in the 50s, and then it would go a season, I get down into the 40s and the 30s, and I just kept working my way up through from 14 up to 17, to where I was just starting to crack like top 20 during races and stuff. Well, then out of the blue, one day we were working, and I had a phone call from another racer that said, hey, we're putting together a team to go on to a TV show. Spartan's having a show. They already had one season. They said they're doing a second season. We want to put a team together, and we want it to be all little, smaller people, racers. And there's not too many of us out there that are higher end racers that are my size. Mm-hmm. And the crazy thing is, I was the biggest person on the team.
Yeah.
So we ended up putting this team together, and I think all five of us with our pro, because they put a pro with us. The pro is actually one of my best friends that I got to know through Spartan, and we'd become very close. And I think all of us together were like 600. We were under 700 pounds mm-hmm. with all five of us, wow. which was crazy. Yeah. I mean, neither of the girls made it over 100. They were way under that, and I think me and Kevin were the heaviest. I was like 140. I think Kev was like 144, and then Corey was like my size now. So we were called the Little Giants.
Yeah.
Great name.
Yeah, that's yeah.
But we got on. They actually picked us for the show.
Do you have to qualify?
We had to make tapes.
Okay.
And send tapes in, and then there was a final tape that we had to make. We made it to the last round. Then we had to get together as a team and then make another tape. And then they ended up picking us because we had a good theme with being so tiny and being racist, because they also put together a team that were called the Highlanders. And I don't know if you've seen that picture.
Is that online. You standing in front of that huge dude? And you're
yes. Yeah, we were squared up.
Awesome.
That was Dan McKim, I think is his name. It's been so many years. Yeah. I haven't got to talk to him. But he was if you ever heard of the Highland Games?
Yeah.
He was the world champion, reigning world champ for I don't know how many years. So he was literally a world champion of the he's the one that throws telephone poles and stuff.
Yeah.
That dude is enormous.
Yeah.
But he was the nicest man.
The teams were opposite ends of the spectrum,
yes.
and then in between, and okay.
Yep. So they ended up putting us against them in the first heat. So, but there was all kinds. There was a bunch of them that were Broadway dancers. Yeah. What else? There was some that were.
Was everybody in this had obviously competed in Spartan races before?
Most of them, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there was some that didn't. There was some with some pole vaulters on it that.
Okay.
They pulled in athletes, like college high-end mm-hmm. People that were notable mm-hmm. And bring them in just to show that even though you're a high-end athlete, this is a very unique sport.
Yeah.
It will humble high-end athletes if you don't train specifically for what we do.
Yeah.
So that was part of that. Yeah. But most of them were racers.
Was that cool being on TV?
Yes. That was scary. It was tough.
Yeah.
It was a whirlwind because they flew us down we filmed in Atlanta, Georgia. And if you're a Walking Dead fan, I think it was like season 2 or season 3 where it was at Terminus, mm-hmm. that old railroad station stuff. That's where we filmed at. Because we got to walk around and pre-look at the course and stuff. You see all the bullet holes in the walls and stuff. It was super neat. Yeah. But they flew us down there a week early. We had to spend a week in the center of Atlanta in a Marriott that was on Spider-Man. I mean, they filmed movies in the actual place. So we spent a week there, and we had wardrobe and then interviews and all that stuff that you don't see. You see the final product, but the actual making of the stuff. And then my family came down for taping. And we taped 2 races in one night because we got knocked out in the semis. But our first race was 10 o'clock on a Friday night. And that one was against the big guys and girls. And that was so much fun. But you talk about a high and then a dump afterwards. You're so ramped up. We finished that race. As soon as we finished, it was you need to get back. You need to wash your clothes because you're going to have another race and this and that. So you're trying to get yourself back together. And then our second race was at 2 or 3 in the morning.
Was that physically hard to do?
Yes.
Just finish one and do another one? Was that the idea of the challenge? Is like, okay, you're going to do...
No, that was the idea of budget for TV.
Okay.
So they didn't have to rent the place out for too long.
That's not a typical Spartan thing where you do one race and then, you race again a couple hours later.
No, the Spartan Ultimate Team Challenge is completely different than what our races were.
Okay.
It's more like a team Ninja Warrior. It's kind of like sort of what it was.
I was kind of getting that from the pictures that I saw. Yeah,
it was completely sense. Because in Spartan,
was a lot of the same obstacles. Maybe like a shorter track. Like was it
definitely short track, but obstacles nothing like what we do.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
it was just nuts.
It was its own thing.
Yeah.
And our regular Spartan is not a team event.
Right.
It's solo. Yeah. There is no team in Spartan. So
which makes the mental part that much harder.
Yes.
Because you're competing against yourself.
Yes. So, but the show was made for to get people to look at it and say, "Oh, what's that?" and then start looking it up and see what it was. And I think that was probably a big push for Spartan back in 18 and 19 was like the biggest year Spartan had before COVID, and probably because of those shows, it got to a lot of households because that was on primetime TV. That was NBC carried it on at like 8 o'clock at night. I mean, it was a major show. So
that's awesome.
But yeah, it was so much fun. And then have my kids there, my family there. So I remember they were all ramped up at the first race, and I remember second race because they didn't allow the families around us too much. We only got to see them here or there. So right before we came out for the second race, they allowed us to go over to the bleachers to talk to our family quick before we went to the start line. And I walk over, and my kids are around the back of the bleachers. There's hay bales on the ground, and both of them are just sleeping. They're just out cold. It's like 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning. It's freezing, and they're just snoozing. So we had to kind of like wake them up and say, "Hey, next race is up," and okay, and they're getting ready to go. And so
like that, you're nuts.
Yeah. I hope it's a cool memory for them.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be.
Yeah.
I mean, how often do you get to do something like that?
Well, that's what I say about these races and stuff too. Why it's so good for me as a dad and stuff too is our dads growing up, we didn't have that. Our dads worked hard, came home, ate dinner, they had their chair, watched TV, rinse and repeat. That was a lot of the Gen X, that era. And my kids got to grow up traveling East Coast with me on weekends, going out and playing in the mud.
Yeah.
And they raced with us because the more I did it, the more they thought, "Well, that looks cool." Yeah. And then they wanted to do it. Thanks again to SDC Building Center for sponsoring this episode of the Route 281 podcast. Stop in and see them today. Check out the Ace Hardware store. You just might find that perfect gift for that special someone. Stay tuned for part 2 of Dustin's episode.